Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another episode of Always Almost There, Day After Show Live. We are here today. We made it. It's noon on a Saturday. Thank you all for joining us. Neil, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Hey, for some of us, this is a lunchtime edition of AAT Goose Pod. Some of us, it is actually breakfast. Some of us, we're not even there yet. Some of us just woke up because we were at a show last night. I'm not going to name any names.
Just
but it's going to be a great show today.
I woke up 75 minutes ago, and I've already written 1,400 words about said show I saw last night. So fuck you. We're here to talk about the show that I didn't see last night, which I listened to. Thankfully, I listened to it around 2 o'clock in the morning. Because if I hadn't listened to it then, I wouldn't have been able to do this podcast. But luckily, I did listen to it. But before we dive in, of course, as with every show this fall tour, we're really excited about our partnership with Hannah and Kait, a.k.a. the Cacao Girls. If you've ever wanted to elevate your concert experience beyond your usual pre-show routine, Hannah and Kait have created something amazing called the Conscious Pregame. Whether you're at the show or on the couch, they guide you through cacao ceremonies and meditative rituals to ground your energy, open your heart, and connect more deeply with the music, the moment, and the community. They lead these pre-games for fans and for the band, which helps everyone get on the same wavelength for the show. Visit www.hannahandkait.com or click the link in the description and use code AATPOD at checkout for 15% off any purchase over $25. Again, tickets to the Conscious Pregame in Richmond are going fast, and you've only got 2 weeks until that, which is fantastic. Neil, you're coming to that show now.
I want to make it just so I can go to the Conscious Pregame. That's how much I want to get out to RVA. But HannahandKait.com. Hannah, 2 H's, 2 N's, and Kait, Kait.com.
There you go. You've learned how to spell.
That's the way to do it. I didn't have you interrupting me as I was doing that, but hey, we got it. And folks should go check that out.
There we go. All right. Well, last night, and I owe an apology, I think, to friend of the pod, B. Dunn. Last night really was the first proper Goose show of this tour. I don't know if Brendan was saying that Burlington wasn't technically proper because it was part of the Grace Potter Festival or whatever it was. But last night really was the first show of this tour where it's felt like an actual Goose show again.
Well, it's tour, man. Tour's back. Well, I guess I agree with that because something about Burlington felt a little special. They were treating that like a special show. And the first set of this show tells you they were treating this like a regular run-of-the-mill tour show out in the Midwest somewhere.
Right. Damn right.
So, oh, man. I mean, it was what it was. But, what's interesting about this show, and I'll kind of say this. This show, before we get into the songs, reminds me a ton of what happened in New Hampshire this summer. The epic levels of, huge jams, but it does, in a lot of ways, remind me of that particular show. Very similar arc.
I'm with you there for sure. Kind of a slower start that results in some big things happening later on, and a big modern that Neil actually likes, which is kind of a monumental occasion.
This is a big deal. This big modern is a really big deal. Instead of re-listening to key parts of the show, I've spent my morning re-listening to Big Modern. Dog watch Big Modern. And then just before the show, Big Modern. A lot of Big Modern.
Welcome.
But yeah, we should talk about the rest of the show.
We should talk about the rest of the show, of course. Of course. Well, we have a 6-pack of openers to get things started, which is great. A rare occasion. But Elizabeth and Butterrum both coming off the bench finally. We talked about that on the last couple episodes. Elizabeth, first time since February. Last version played was in Toronto, if you can believe it. And Butterrum, first version since Viva El Gonzo, which is crazy. This rum goes intergalactic. This is a phenomenal jam.
This is an all-timer rum. If you think about to borrow a phrase from the HF Pod folks, the Mount Rushmore of butter rums. This butter rum goes on that Mount Rushmore with, I think, What's the one I'm trying to think of? Florida and then
Belly Up.
Belly Up. Oh, that is the one that was on the tip of my tongue.
Florida, you're also thinking Miami.
So there you go. Isn't it 4? Don't you have to have 4
that's 4 notable butter rums.
4 butter rums. So this one's up there, top 4 butter rum of all time, which bars low, but this is fascinating and exciting. This one is definitely worth going back to. Oh, you know what another good butter rum is? The Westville butter rum, but in any case, from years past.
2022.
I digress.
Rhodes, full centerpiece. This is some fantastic Rhodes jamming right here. But I was listening to this, for the first time last night, and I was blown away. Like, you guys had said that the rum was great, but like sometimes, you have like an Omaha where everyone's like, this rum was sick. And it's just like, Rick shredding for 15 minutes.
Which ain't bad, but yes, I get what you're saying.
Well, it's not bad. No, but like this, I was like, oh my God, like they're really tapping into something different here. Like, this is not just an average great version of butter rum. Like it's relatively short at like 15 minutes or so, I guess, but especially for early first set and coming out of a song like butter rum, like, yes, please.
So this is actually, I got to pause and say, this is next level for us. We are fluffing the shit out of butter rum in the first 6 minutes on our podcast. Yes. We deserve to be called out for that. I don't know if it's like that fantastic, but I will say this. We've been saying this is like a 6-pack of openers, and this rum is in the traditional second song jam slot, and they jammed it like, if this wasn't All I Need, we wouldn't have called this a 6-pack of openers. And All I Need, that was jammed. So
I mean, still would have been a 6-pack of openers.
But it doesn't feel like the 6-pack of opener thing. It's honestly an opener.
Everything in this first set except for Make the Move is an opener. So
yes, but the jammed out rum, the second slot jammer, is the role here of the rum. It's not the opener kind of vibe. But yeah. In any case, it's sick. You should check it out. I need to go back and listen to this one. Yeah, I instead of listening to this rum today, I listened to 2 shots of Big Modern, but I'm going to go back and listen to that one a little bit later.
I'm so with you on that one, by the way. That might surprise you. Yeah, and then Mascanada, Cali, Turbulence. Again, we're seeing this kind of show, Neil, that you've kind of talked about, the Columbus 2023 type show, for those who don't know, basically where they bring songs back into the rotation that have been missing for kind of a conspicuously long time. So Elizabeth and Rum, both on long gaps. Turbulence, also not played since Fiddlers. Bob Don was on the written set last night. So they're working these songs back in. And one thing that shocks me about really only one set list choice in particular in this show, which is the encore, everything else is pretty much like, let's start working through the material that we haven't been able to play on this really long run of festival shows, which we kind of talked about earlier in the week was kind of going to be the case. And so it's cool to see them, bring something like Turbulence back after missing for such a long time, especially,
that one doesn't make any sense.
It was on an album. I know. It was weird. It was weird, like end of June when we were talking about it, and it's like, they haven't played Turbulence and Bob Don in 3 weeks, and that's crazy.
Yeah, and just straight because Turbulence is so good, I don't know why that lives on the shelf. I mean, they did play the hell out of it when they started playing it, and that was a pretty prolonged period of time. Yeah, but it's too good of a song to live on the shelf. Although when they take it off the shelf, I don't know if I love it jammed with a bunch of other songs that were, like kind of
setlist construction is important.
Yeah, it is important, and like, I don't know, it felt weird to me in this spot, but it was good. And hey, listen, Rick's playing on this Turbulence. Holy smokes, man. Yeah. It's just crisp. And sure, it was a run-of-the-mill version, but watching Rick play these days is kind of exciting. The solo, though, had a little extra sauce on it, and I liked it. Not the sauce, but like
extra mustard, if you will.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the first set comes to a close with Into the Mist, Salt, Make the Move, Salt. I guess this is like, you play Mist here so you can bring the ending back later, which makes sense. It was unfinished at the time.
Hey, listen, man, like existentially, nothing has finished when it begins, right?
There you go.
It only finishes when it finishes. If you want to get real deep on it.
I like
every song is unfinished.
I like Make the Move in the middle of Salt here. It's a fun pick. This is also 100 shows since the last Make the Move, the Fox in Atlanta, 2024. But I feel like that Loggins vibe fits pretty well within Salt. Like that felt like a pretty natural combination here.
Salt is a Loggins song. That's why. I mean, it's when they debuted Salt, we were like, wow, that is quite Logginsy. But I will say this: you were talking about the formula of the Kemba Live show where they pulled a bunch of songs off the shelf. The other thing they did in that show was had a huge bust out, and the name of the song,
Rosalie McFall.
Yeah, Rosalie McFall. And similar here, Make the Move has been played almost never by Goose. I
wouldn't equate the two in terms of bust out, but
I mean, they're huge bust outs. I mean, one is significantly less huge than the other, but 100 shows is a long time. And then if you think about the 10 before that, it was like, what was it, the Fox where they played it? And then it was like Marta's wedding, and then before that it had been an eternity, right? I can't even remember when that was, looking at it right now. Oh, I guess not.
It wasn't that long. Was it Perry?
Yeah.
No.
It's Nelson Ledges.
Oh, yeah, and they did it in. Oh no, they did Danger Zone in Seattle at the Paramount. I was trying to think of.
In any case,
Loggins kind of blends together sometimes.
But no, if you're chasing Loggins, my point here, and I understand that not everybody chases Loggins, but some people do. If you're chasing it, this is the hardest one to get. So it is kind of a bust out, and it is a little bit of a treat. It is the hardest one, the most rarely played of them all. I have not run the numbers. You can run the numbers really quick, so you can try to prove me wrong. But I'm 99% certain.
Footing, but
I don't think so. I don't think that's right.
My hotel Wi-Fi is not the greatest, so I'm gonna let it. Make this.
You're just gonna let that one sit out there in the universe.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, set 2 of this show. Massive.
Wait, hold up.
Oh, what?
I want to pause. We haven't talked about the jam in this yet. Make the Move is incredible. So the tracking of this is baloney because the tracking kind of cuts off after about 3 minutes because they don't want to say they played. Yeah, of Make the Move. They don't want to say they played a longer cover because of, I don't know those reasons, but I imagine lawyers are involved and whatever, and maybe money, who knows. But it is much longer, Make the Move, the jam, and then Salt finishes. And Salt sandwiches are incredible, and then the jam in this one is awesome. Ferocious. It's really, really, really good. So it is the GOAT Make the Move, but it is not tracked like that. So go listen to, you can start actually at the end of Make the Move and listen to the first 3 or 4 minutes of the Salt track that comes after that. That is the Make the Move jam. And it is fire. And I'm not even exaggerating here. The jam is so good in this. In the return to Salt is awesome. So I just didn't want to brush past that because it is the GOAT Make the Move.
That's not a proclamation that we take lightly.
We hasty rank the shit out of it. I don't care.
The GOAT Make the Move, and it's not close.
It's not even close.
It's not close. All right. Big Modern. Modern.
It is the biggest of Big Moderns. No, it's not. Not even close.
Big Modern?
If you're asking me, this is the first Big Modern that actually has done the Type 2 jam vehicle thing that I had hoped since they introduced it to do. And it has segments. It has the initial Big Modern segment, which you expect, where Rick is absolutely on fire. So that on its own sounds great. So that stands up against every other Big Modern version ever, in my opinion, that section that we're all so familiar with, that it usually kind of stays in that groove. Maybe it goes a couple different places, but it never strays far from home. Then full drop into straight Roger Waters bass and just mysterious drums and the groove that they find in this thing. Well, this is not the greatest jam of all time. This is the most exciting thing that Big Modern has ever done. In this zone, this ultra psychedelic, Pink Floyd-ish zone. So good. But I mean, Trevor absolutely channeling the Roger Waters bass lines in this, and it sounds awesome. Trevor has the ability to sound like different bass players at different times. Like I think he doesn't ever always sound distinctly Trevor Weeks, and then every once in a while he sounds like somebody else. And here he digs into the Pink Floyd vibe, and the result is sick. 24 minutes of Big Modern.
Oh man, I was so happy, when I was at Fish last night, but seeing the text in the group chat roll in where you were like, this isn't like this Big Modern has me interested. I was like,
like that was the first section. That was in the first section. That that second section hadn't even happened yet. So,
right. And I mean, yeah, you get that big Modern peak, as you said, but yeah, that last section that's my shit. Like that's like some of my favorite jamming that can happen by any band, like that kind of just intense psychedelic vibe. And I love every time Goose taps into that. So happy that also it happened in Big Modern.
Yes, this one goes on the playlist, man. I've been saying all along, and like if you follow along with the pod
Big Modern on your playlist.
yeah, my social media, I generally have been against putting Big Modern versions on my playlist. I have chided fellow podcasters on our podcast about this, especially Jive Goose, who for some reason or another really likes certain versions of this song and not others, and I'll never understand the way that dude thinks. But dude, I'm on board on this one. Like if he wants to put that one at the top of the list next to GR Big Modern, I'm right there with him. I'm right there with him. I love it.
Oh, ridiculous. Well, speaking of songs that have been on the shelf for a while, Wisteria comes back next. Big call here. And it's 2025, which means the Wisteria is going to get rip-corded.
Well, I was saying this last night. You know what's funny? Actually, like this means nothing now because I didn't actually put this out into the universe, but I thought to myself, this is Wisteria Day. It has to be. I was looking at like what was lined up, and I was like, this has to be the day that they play Wisteria. Of course, I didn't say that, so it's just bullshit.
So it's meaningless.
I really did think it. I promise that I did. I'm not lying. But the thing I was saying last night is we can't expect Wisteria to be the Wisterias of old because they don't play Wisteria every fourth or fifth or sixth show like they used to. So the song just hasn't been tried on in a while, and they're just not going to find those spaces like they always have. I
mean, this space that they get to, that like kind of like almost like thrashing kind of jam that happens in this version is fantastic. Like this is Cotter right here. Like this is a hallmark of how insane he is. But this jam is fantastic, and I feel like Echo just kind of sometimes has a tendency to emerge out of a jam at an inopportune moment. I think the Masonic Wisteria at the end of May, similar, like, we're in Echo now. Right, as things were, as that one was getting a little goonsy. This one not going in that direction, but while the segue is cool, letting the Wisteria continue to develop would have probably been better.
I just don't think they feel comfortable in the song. Like I think they just want to get out of it. Like they find themselves in a spot, the space.
It's an interesting conundrum, right? Because I feel like Wisteria is a vehicle that gets them into really cool spaces pretty quickly.
Yep.
And then they don't want to stay there.
Well, Rick gets a little shy sometimes. I think he finds a space and he's just like, this isn't working, or something. I don't know. There's a comfort level there that we'll never understand, where he finds himself in the middle of sometimes incredible spaces and he's just like, I don't like it. Like, I don't like where we're going. And then he bounces right out of it. And that happened here.
It's also interesting because they were planning on opening the second set with Wisteria. And I think, that this still feeds into our theory about them being more uncomfortable with the song these days, because like Big Modern is like a comfort pick to open set to. Like it's reliable. People are going to be excited and the band will, lift off on that immediately. So it's interesting, given that they were planning on doing Wisteria, Rockdale, Big Modern, Redbird, Echo, Bob Don, You Spin Me Round for the second set versus what we actually got, which is something completely different.
Yeah. Very, very different.
Speaking of which, Electric Avon Goons.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
That is rough.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I guess you can call it that if you really like. This is
Trolling Jive Goose.
As fuck you, Jive Goose section. You know what's funny is it came to mind and I was like, wow, this could be a fuck you to Jive Goose. And then I think you responded and you were like, No, it absolutely is. And
Yeah,
I'm
well,
like,
no, you were like, this is their subtle fuck you to Jive Goose. And I was like, what is subtle about jammed out Electric Avenue into the Mist ending?
that I sometimes there are coincidences in the universe. This cannot be a coincidence. Because we are well aware that Peter is well aware of Jive Goose's Electric Avenue hate. We've said it straight to his face. And then, of course, he knows that Jive loves that Mist ending. So, I mean, what a beauty this is. And yes, the Goonsey Electric Avenue. Hey, man, I'm on board with this song when it jams, and it always jams pretty well. And this one is sick. I need to dig into this one a little bit so I can add it to the Goons playlist, which is out there on socials. If you really dig the Goons, go listen to the Goons playlist. It's 5 hours of Goons, about to be 5 hours and 15 minutes because I'm going to put this Electric Avenue on it. And if you think I'm missing any of the Goons, let me know. I know I've gotten a few comments so far where people are like, you forgot X or Y or Z. And I was just like, well, I've thought about that one, but let me know if you think I've missed anything and we'll throw it on the Goons playlist. But in any case, this is sick. Very Goonsy. Now you're getting the Goons in every show. And can we pause on this for a moment? And I want to talk about the Goons because the Goons is a topic lately on social media. And folks are like, it is boring. It's the same thing every time. It's waste of time in the show. And to those people, I understand where they're coming from because that sounds like actually something that I would say, about
that we would say on this podcast for sure.
Yeah, right. But like, I dig it. It's the dance section of the show. They have determined that this is the point in the show where we are going to dance and we are going to rock out. We're not going to push any musical boundaries. We're just going to do this thing that's super fun and everybody's going to enjoy it. And I liken this to drum space where folks just kind of trip out for a minute or maybe hit the bathroom. It's just like hold on.
Don't insult the Goons by comparing it to an actual waste of time.
Okay, but that's my point is like you can choose to engage in the space if you want, or you can choose to not engage in space. Hey, I have engaged in space before, and I've also gone to the bathroom or gotten a beer during space. You can choose, and you can choose to engage with the Goons at a show or not. It's the same kind of vibe, but it's way more fun than drums. That's my point.
Yeah, I feel bad if the Goons starts and your first inkling is to go to the bathroom, just for the record. That's like,
but the point that I'm trying to make is like we can allow jam bands
I get the point you're making
to have a section of every show to do a thing that they think is worthwhile. They can have their drummer play a vacuum and sing a song terribly, or you can just dance.
Damn right they can. Damn right they can.
All right. So it's sick, and then the Mist finishes. Oh, the Mist ending. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just really happy that this is a thing that's happening again. Like. It came back at Fiddler's. We got the teases and quotes within the CMAC Rockdale, and now we just get a Mist ending here, which is fantastic. I think we're just building towards that Mist that they're going to play. That is Into the Mist. They play the whole song and then finish it without a segue, and that's going to be crazy when that does finally happen. But I mean, yeah, as we've been saying for years, as Jive Goose has pioneered as part of the movement in support of the Mist ending, it's too good not to play.
Oh yeah, although this is interesting. This is an Into the Mist with no jam, but it started and ended. Which is
I mean, but the way that it comes out of the Electric Avenue is fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's killer. And the interesting thing about this Mist ending is it's not fully there. Trevor absolutely is playing the bass line, and the rest of the band though is not necessarily fully there. And when I was tracking this last night, I was like, oh god, this is really uncomfortable. But the thing that pushed me over the edge was Trevor is absolutely playing the bass line in this, but the rest of it is not a typical Mist ending, and that part's cool too. It's sick. It's super fun.
Yeah, fantastic. And then You Spin Me Round to close out the set. I mean, this is up there, I think, with one of the most played covers this year so far. But I mean, I'm still not opposed to this song. Like, I think it's fantastic. Like, I think, but by this point with a cover, sometimes we can be like, like play something else. I think this is still a fantastic pick. The band absolutely kills this. And I think it's a great slot for late in the show.
It's fun. It's like Don't Leave Me This Way. It continues the dance party. and people go to shows to have fun. Not everybody just goes to shows to stand there stoically and, pick apart the jams. Some people go to dance.
I have fun and methodically pick apart the jams.
I was not throwing out any accusations at anybody, Ryan
well,
Storm.
you
if you feel attacked, then that's on you. Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, yeah, and then Rockdale Encore. Pretty safe pick there. That's the only pick on this set list, and on the written set. They cut Seekers from set 1. And I'm looking at it now, and the missed ending in set 2 was not on the written set, so that's cool. But Rockdale feels like an odd call here because they just played it in Burlington. They've played it a couple of times at the on the festival circuit, and so it wasn't one that I was expecting to pop up again so soon.
Yeah, and weird in the encore slot because it's kind of been a jam vehicle lately, and they still got a little jammy in this one, and it was okay. But all around, just an interesting pick. Yeah, it's a strange one, but cool. I don't know. I mean, Rockdale, like encore, sure.
Yeah,
they could have gone another way and like closed the show with Rockdale, then played "You Spin Me" for the encore. I mean,
I mean, either one works. Overall, though, this is a fantastic show. I think. I'm very happy with how this show happened.
Like zoom out view of this show, Goose did the thing that they do, which is kind of empty the tank of a few songs that they want to get out there. Goose likes playing their songs. We know this.
Yeah.
And you get a little bit of a jam in the Butter Rum that they busted out, which is, I don't know, bust out's the right word, but it's been a while.
Well, it's been a while.
Yeah, and then you get this kind of cool section with Mist, Salt, Make the Move, Salt. Like that's exceptional. That is cool and really, really fun. So that's awesome. Then you get a really leaned into Big Modern, which I would argue that they haven't leaned that hard into a Big Modern since they debuted it.
Well, I think the big deal in the Big Modern is the post-peak jam, right? Because that's something that has been happening this year, but it's still a space that they're a little bit hesitant about sometimes. Like when the peak ends, sometimes like Rick's first instinct is, all right, next song. And so it's a real treat when they let that space breathe, especially for as long as this Big Modern does, and to such a great effect.
They leaned into it. So, and then you get a, kind of bust out-ish song, a big treat in Wisteria. You don't get that often these days. And then they lean extra hard into Electric Avenue. I mean, all around, there's just really cool spots in this show. And it makes the entirety of the show good, even though the first quarter is rough outside of the Butter Rum jam.
Yeah. But overall, great show. Shohio of Michigan. That's
and of course, it's Detroit, so they had to play Big Modern. They couldn't play that anywhere else. You got to play that.
I mean, they could play it in any big city, really. But
no, I'm thinking of American-made vehicles.
Motor City, I guess.
Yeah,
built real tough. Yeah.
Built real tough.
Is it easy on the eyes? Anyway, Chicago tonight, Northerly Island, big deal. Good friend of the pod, Garrett, celebrating his 100th show tonight.
Shout out to Garrett.
Congratulations to Garrett. Yeah, pretty crazy. I remember when Neil had seen more shows than us.
It's true. Someday I'm going to get 100 in 2027. So it'll be a big celebration.
Take your time.
We'll make a big deal out of it. It'll be a special 3-hour episode of Always Almost There, day after show. It's going to be sick. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be
but I am going to take my time.
Yeah, if you see Garrett at the show tonight, give him a high five and a hug.
Definitely give Garrett a high five, a hug, give him other stuff. He's got slaps, I'm sure.
He always has slaps.
Yeah. Hey, listen, there's things going on today. Goose is playing a show. I heard this other band, Fish, might be playing a show. What do you got going on later today? Yeah.
I actually, in 90 minutes, I am going to today's action-packed here in Hampton, Virginia. I'm heading over to the Barnes & Noble in Hampton. I'm doing a talk with Mike Ayers, who is the author of Sharing in the Groove, that book about the 90s jam band scene that just came out. We're not going to be specifically talking about the 90s jam band scene, obviously, because I wasn't around for that. We're going to talk about
alive is the word that you're looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to make some bad jokes to some Fish fans about that we're actually going to talk about last night's Goose show. It's going to be great. It's basically my second podcast of the day. But if you're in Hampton and you're watching this right now, come out to Barnes & Noble. It's going to be a great time. I don't know if we got special permission from Barnes & Noble to allow people to bring beers in. But I would say if you're coming, try. Why not? It's show day.
I mean, it is Hampton, Virginia. It's a lawless place. So
yeah,
go out there, have fun.
And then I'm seeing Fish at the Mothership again tonight, which is great.
It's a great room, man. For as old as it is.
First time, my only other time being here before last night was for Goosemas.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it's a different energy in that room for a sold out Fish crowd.
Sure,
man. Great Goose show last night. It's going to be a good one again tonight. Saturday, tour in full swing. Garrett's on the show. So, everybody, thank you so much for joining us for this lunchtime pod on your Saturday. Once again, a reminder and shout out to Hannah Kait. If you visit hannahandkait.com and use code AATPOD, you get 15% off any purchase over $25. Including conscious pregame tickets, at-home kits, and couch tour pregames as well. It's fantastic. Do it. All right, we will see everybody. Oh, thank you, Neil.
I do it every time.
We will see everybody tomorrow for our Chicago day after show. Hope you all have a great rest of your Saturday and enjoy whatever you happen to be doing. See you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.